When people find out that I'm in the wine business, one of the first things they ask, are you like a sommelier? And right away I tell them no, and they act shocked. Why? Because being a sommelier, it's the same thing like having a college degree. I've been saying this for decades. People finally now are starting to catch on. College, for most people, is bullshit. It's a waste of time. Unless you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or an architect, something that you have to study specifically how it is to build a building or whatever. Don't bother going to college. Go to work, save your money, and build your career. Now, I asked my friend Elmer, who knows a lot about wine, pretty much more than anybody else. So I said, listen, let me ask you a question. I knew the answer. I said, are you a sommelier? He said, no, absolutely not. I said, why not? Again, I knew the answer. He said, because it's bullshit. So that right there, it solidified it in me, in my heart and in my mind, that it's a waste of time. Now, you have sommeliers, you know, who come to New York. Most of them are from, you know, Ohio or whatever, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But, you know, they grow up eating Wonder Bread and shitty foods, and they come here and they're embarrassed about who they are and their upbringing. So they want to make fun of those people and detach themselves from who they really are. So then all of a sudden they insist on things like buffalo mozzarella. Now that the tomatoes have to be San Marzano because they want to establish their identity. So they get these jobs as sommeliers. I don't know how, but they do. And they're so happy because they put a $300 Barolo on the wine list. Yeah, big deal. Anybody can buy an expensive wine. As long as you have a lot of money, you can buy an expensive wine and have a pretty good list. Doesn't guarantee you're going to have a good list. You know, it's going to be a great wine. It's not going to be worth it, but it's going to be somewhat good if you spend $300. But the trick is this, and this is my challenge to any New York City sommelier, and it has to be in New York City because of different price, taxing, or cost structure. I challenge any New York City sommelier to come up with a wine list under $30, and at the same time, the restaurant is making at least a 300% markup, sometimes even a 500% markup. And I'm not talking about the restaurants who make 500% on shitty wines they buy for $3 a bottle. I'm talking about the wine list has to be good. And now, thing is, they can't do it. And the reason why is because when they have people bring the wines to the restaurant, they only bring expensive wines that they can get on the list. They're not going to bring a good bottle of wine that wholesales for $10. So these people's universe of wines they get to try is very, very small. Maybe if they go to a tasting, they might try some wines, but they're always keeping a lookout for a certain level of wine when it comes to price. You can only know good wine if you try thousands, and I mean thousands of shit. Real garbage. That's the only way you can put things in perspective. Because then, you know, most wine at $7 wholesale is going to suck. But then you try a really good one, you say, oh my God, you start to understand why it's good at $7. And why that wine at $7 wholesale is better than a wine that's good at $20 wholesale. Because at $20, you should be expecting more. So, you get that by working in retail and restaurants, like my good friend Charles Cicolone did. He's also another person who knows more about wine than anybody else. And he agrees with me. So please, my challenge is to all you sommeliers, I love to make money. It's fun. If you don't want to bet money, we can bet meals or vacations or, you know, clothing, whatever you want. Cocky? Maybe. But if you knew what I knew, and you had to deal with the shit I deal with,